Okay, so we are talking about descriptive paragraphs. For those of you who are here, what do you think descriptive paragraphs are? Any ideas? Okay. So descriptive paragraphs are things that are paragraphs that describe something. Okay. So, for example, so what is a descriptive paragraph? I don't know why this keeps showing up like this. All right, 1 second. All right. So a descriptive paragraph is a type of paragraph that describes how something or someone looks or feels. It's almost as if you can taste it, you can see it, you can hear it, right? So it includes how the writer feels. It shows the reader rather than tells them. So I can tell you the boy drank water, or I can say in a tall glass of water, there was a tall glass of water on the counter and the boy came in running, parched for water. And when he saw the tall glass of water, he grabbed it with both hands and drank all of it. Well, both of my examples tell you that the boy drank water, right? But what it doesn't tell you, what the first one doesn't tell you, or what it lacks, is that it lacks your ability to feel it, to see it. Whereas when I told you in the second story that the boy drank water, you kind of could see what happened, right? You can see him running in. You can see him so thirsty, grabbing the water with both hands. That is called a descriptive paragraph. It shows the reader rather than tells them, okay? And it creates a sensory image on the reader's mind. So it uses the senses. It uses how, like your feelings, your touch, your smell, you know what I mean? Any questions?
No.
All right. So we can divide these descriptive paragraphs into 3 things. We can say a description of a person, you can do a description of a place, or a description of a thing or an experience, okay? So you can describe how the person looks, feels, runs, whatever. You can describe a place. You can, like if you've never been, to the Statue of Liberty, someone else can say, oh, well, it's surrounded by water. It stands on its own. It's tall, right? So that would be a description of a place. And lastly, a description of a thing or an experience, like when you say, it felt so disgusting, right? We ate at this restaurant, but it was so disgusting. Well, that's an experience, right? All right. So what does a descriptive paragraph do? Well, a descriptive paragraph lets the reader touch, taste, see, hear, and smell what you are describing. That is your objective when you are writing a descriptive paragraph. So the reader should feel as if they can see what you're describing so clearly, right? It's right in front of them. And you want to paint this picture that you can, as you write the descriptive paragraph, it's as if like you're painting, right? And you're describing what you are painting to a blind person, to a person that can't see. And here's a few guidelines to help you write a great descriptive paragraph. Let's look at them. Any questions till now?
No.
Okay. So you could describe a particular smell and taste in the paragraph, right? And so that's one thing that you can do. You can use the most descriptive words possible to allow the reader to smell or taste what you are describing. For example, when I walked into the shop, it smelled like blooming flowers in the spring. If I say that, what do I mean? Can anyone tell me? What did the shop smell like?
Again,
so if I say,
yeah,
when I walked into the shop, It smelled like blooming flowers in the spring. What do I mean by that?
It smells so good.
Smells so good.
That's good.
It smells like flowers in the spring, right?
Yeah.
And all of you,
flowers.
exactly, smells like flowers. And all of you guys know already what flowers smell like, right?
Yes.
So it's easy for you to imagine what it feels like walking into that store. And that's what you want your reader to feel. You want them to smell and taste what it is that you are describing. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Oops, sorry. You can add the senses of touch and hearing to your paragraph whenever possible, and you can describe certain textures and sound, right? So you can add basically anything that would involve the sense.
Yeah.
For
Describe.
example, yeah, so that's what you want to do. That's
Yeah.
why it's called a descriptive paragraph. It comes from the word to describe,
Mhm.
right? Or from the verb to describe.
Yeah. Like when we say the cat fur, it's very soft.
Yes, exactly. So now I can feel, like I can imagine what the cat's fur
Same.
feels like, right?
Yeah.
Another thing that you can do is maybe sound or touch. You can do that. For example, you can say, I heard a startling noise,
Yeah.
which means that you probably imagine what a startling noise looks like. It's something that makes you jump out of fear, right? It's probably something that is loud, right? I can say, I heard a loud, startling noise that made me drop all of my stuff.
Yeah.
It means the noise scared me,
Yes.
right? But when I say that, it's a lot more descriptive, and it's a lot more, there's a lot more feelings and senses behind it. Okay.
Yeah.
And another thing that you can do is use like or as, right? So these are called similes. We also have metaphors. We have all kinds of different ways of saying things. But when the most common one that you see, or the easiest one to do, would be like or as. So for example, my best friend is like the sun in my life. I walked into the shop and it smelled like blossoming flowers in the spring. He looked as if he was worried and concerned, right? So we use like or as to compare things. And because when you are describing, sometimes you get to compare one thing to another, you can use like and as frequently in a descriptive paragraph. All right. Tip number 4 is that you can insert a descriptive adjective to modify your noun. So give us more meaning or more like a better understanding of the noun. We get to know more information. Don't just say ocean, right? Describe the actual color you see in the ocean. I use more descriptive words such as deep, dark blue ocean, right? You know that if you take a boat, you will end up with water that's darker, right, than on the beach. So you can say, as I sat in the boat and it swayed from side to side, I looked out at the deep, dark blue ocean, right? It gives more description. It gives it more meaning, okay? So you can say, I heard a loud, startling noise. What kind of noise? Loud.
Loud.
Right? What kind of blue ocean, or what kind of ocean? Deep,
Dark blue.
Exactly. Right? So we can add adjectives that give us more information on the noun, and that gives it more description. We can kind of feel it a little bit more. All right. So things to remember while writing a descriptive paragraph. Well, the spatial order shows people and objects are arranged in the space or scene. It shows us where people and things are. And a description can be organized in spatially in several ways. So these are ways that you can look at the world around you or what you're writing and describe them describe the space they are in. That's the word spatial, right? Space. Okay. So you can describe a space from top to bottom. You can describe a place from outside to the inside. You can describe a place from the left to the right, from the right to the left. You can describe it from near to far, from far to near, or, basically you can reverse any of these, right? But there has to be some kind of order, unless you are deliberately trying to scare the reader, right? I looked to my right and there was a spider, then to my left, another sound made me look to my left. And then on the left, I saw a window and that window had no lights. And suddenly to the right, right? So these are, if you're moving that quickly, you're probably trying to scare the reader or convey that you are scared, right? But usually we go from one side to another. Here's an example of a spatial order. In Miss Kara's classroom, we see a lot of things. To the left of the class, we see 10 posters in the colors of the rainbow. And in front of us is a white square projector shade. In the back of it, there has to be that. In the back of it, it is green and rectangular chalkboard. That sentence seems off. In the back of it is there we go. In the back of it is a green rectangular chalkboard. To the right of the room is a black radio on top of the silver file cabinet. With all this description, you can kind of feel it, right? We start from the left and we're looking, there are 10 posters in order, like the color of the rainbow. So, these posters are in order. In front of us, so we're moving right from left to center to right, right? So we're scanning it and we're sharing that scan with those who are reading, right? Or in this case, the author is sharing that with us. Okay. You can also use the following language to describe your paragraph. For example, when you're describing something, like a thing, you can say it's made out of, and then tell us what it's made out of. For example, the keyboard I'm using is made out of plastic. The computer I'm using is made out of metal. I have a backpack that's made out of straws, right? Anything like that. Made out of is the material, and it's indicating the consistency or the texture of something. It consists of means that inside it there are whatever elements, right? For example, the city consists of many mysterious people, or the business office consists, or this business consists of 5 departments, which means that it has 5 departments in it. The city consists of many mysterious people means that there are many mysterious people inside the city, right? So you can use that to also describe how something looks, feels, tastes, or whatever, right? And as we said before, you can say as or like, which you can definitely use for people or places, right? She sings like an angel. My friend looks like Anthony Hopkins. I cannot cook as my mother. I want to join an army. I join army as a pilot. All right, so here are some examples, okay? My 8-year-old son, Barack, is different from other children because his distinctive appearance and personality. The first thing I notice when I look at him is his size. He stands at shoulder height next to me. Indeed, he's taller than other children his age and is definitely stronger. Also, his red hair is remarkable. It's thick and it's stylish. Also, Barack has freckles on his face. His eyes are bright blue and his eyebrows are blonde. His lips are thick and somewhat feminine, and he has gaps in his teeth. His shoulders are broad, his belly's plump. When we hold hands, you can see that his hands are larger than my hands. His legs are strong and his knees are covered with purple bruises because he always falls down while he's skateboarding and biking. Despite his appearance, Brock is sensitive and caring. In fact, he still likes to sit on my lap. He likes to open doors for me. He looks like his little brother, and he help me grocery shop. He looks after his little brother and helps me grocery shop. To sum up, although he is the only 8 years old, he is big and strong, but at the same time, he is loving and gentle. So as we read through this passage and paragraph, you can kind of see that there are a lot of descriptions. There's a lot of adjectives that are added into this paragraph that really gives us a sense of who Brock is, right? We really understand that this boy is tall. This boy is strong. He has red hair, and we can kind of almost see it. And it's not just thin red hair, it's thick, it's stylish. He has blue eyes. He has blonde eyebrows. We also get to know his personality, right? So this is a descriptive paragraph of this person. And it tells us a lot of information. It's almost as if we see him there and we know what his personality is like. Does that make sense? Okay, okay, cool. Also, you can see that it follows the same format we've been following, right? You have the topic sentence, then you have supporting details, and then you have the conclusion, which kind of sums up the topic sentence. From my 8-year-old son, Brock is different from other children because of his distinctive appearance and personality. And last, to sum up, although he's only 8 years old, again, we're repeating, he's 8, he is big and strong, but at the same time, he's loving and gentle. So it's his appearance and his personality. Yeah?
Yeah.
Awesome. So now we have the beach in Hawaii. So we're describing here the beach in Hawaii. A beach in Hawaii is like a paradise. To start with, the beach smells fresh like a new ocean air freshener. The sand is so hot that when you walk on it after the sea, you feel like you walk on a burning grill. Not far from the shore, you can see the palm trees. They sway in the air from strong wind. In a distance, there is a beautiful house by the water. So you can see the navy blue ocean every day. People are laughing and playing on the burning sand, and others are relaxing on the beach sunbathing. They seem to enjoy the bright rays of the sun. From a far distance, the ocean is a deep navy blue. Waves come in like a bulldozer from all the wind. But at night, everything is still and quiet. You can only hear the waves of the ocean and the light wind, which comes from the huge palm trees. To sum up, this beach is amazing, is an amazing place for a perfect summer holiday. Okay, so again, we're following the same format. And again, it is a very descriptive. It gives us a lot of details on the beach in Hawaii, as if we are walking on it. If you've been to the beach on a sunny day, you know that if you're walking on the sand, it gets way too hot. So burning grill, it does feel like it's burning, right? So we know that feeling. And the writer does a good job of conveying that to us. Questions? Okay. No questions. All right. Last one. My roommate and I share a refrigerator. My roommate's half of our refrigerator is very neat. On the top shelf is a carton of milk, a pitcher of orange juice, and a bottle of mineral water. These are arranged in a straight line on the shelf. On the next shelf are cans of soda. These are carefully lined up in a row. Orange soda is the first row, Pepsi in the second, and 7-Up in the third. On the third shelf, he keeps dairy foods such as butter, cheese, eggs, and yogurt. On the bottom shelf, sits plastic containers of leftovers. These are neatly arranged by size. The large ones are in the back and the small ones are in the front. There are 2 drawers in the bottom of the refrigerator. In this drawer, my roommate keeps vegetables and fruit. Each item is in a separate plastic bag in the drawer. My roommate is an organized person, and his half of our refrigerator really reflects his personality. Again, you can kind of see the soda lined up. You can kind of feel what it looks like. You know the feeling of when you open a refrigerator. This is something we've all done, right? And that feeling carries over to when that writer is writing this story or this paragraph, and we can connect it. So when you are writing a descriptive paragraph or any paragraph that requires some description to make it better, you can use the same technique. You can use adding more adjectives, right? You can use specific words. Instead of saying something general, like a general noun, you use something very specific. For example, orange soda is a very specific type of soda. Pepsi is a very specific type of soda. 7-Up, very specific type of soda. Carton of milk, right? You could have said just on the top shelf there's milk, but he didn't. Instead, he used carton of milk. So it gives it a very specific shape, right? We know what a carton looks like. So for that, you can use, again, you can use adjectives. You can also use very specific nouns and very specific words to reach what you are looking for. All right, so that is it for this video. For those of you who are watching on the computer later on, or on your phones, or wherever you are, be sure to subscribe to the channel so that you get the latest videos. Even if you're in my classes, you still would benefit from the latest videos. And if you are here and you're live, please let me know if you have any questions.